Morning guys, so today I'm in a Land Rover Range Rover Sport, but not just any Sport, and if you can see by the seats behind me, it might give you a little bit of a clue to which vehicle I'm in. I'm in a 2019 SVR. Now the SVR is something that Land Rover Special Vehicle Operations Department make. It's the special vehicle racing option on the Range Rover Sport. It's the first one they did, and then they moved into doing things like the SVA as well, which was the SV autobiography on the full fat Range Rover. So the SVR is the original and in some opinion the best. So I've done a review of the SVA already. Ultimate in luxury, sounds nice, it's quick as in about 5.1 seconds. This is quick in a different league. This is quick in 4.3 seconds. 560 brake, it costs a little over £100,000 new. This one's 12 months old, it's got about 8,500 on the clock, and it's in absolutely mint condition inside and out. It's got the beige and black two-tone leather with the Alcantara inserts in the middle. Everything sort of door cards up, so all the A-pillars, B-pillars, roof lining, all in Alcantara, suede leather. It's just feels amazing, looks amazing. What a special place to be. As you turn the car off, the sun blind comes over to cover the panoramic roof, and as we start off we'll see that open. So let's take it for a spin. I think this is one of them vehicles that puts a smile on your face. So Land Rover with the Range Rover, as I said, the full fat, the autobiography, the SV autobiography, is the ultimate in luxury and comfort. And in reality, I've done a review of the Bentley Bentayga as well, but in reality, there's not a car in the world I don't think I'd rather be in than that SVA. And it's got the power when you need it, it's got the sound, it puts a smile on your face, but the ultimate in luxury is there. However, this is a different animal. And this isn't something that I would want as my daily driver. I think I'd want the more comfort with the SVA. But this is something that I want. This is definitely a car that I'd have. And I'd have this in the garage, and a couple of times a week, at weekends, of an evening, I'd take this out. I took this out last night, and there's a couple of things to note with it that only come alive at night time, which are really, really nice. So you've got the, it's alive in the daytime, but you just can't see it. You've got the ambient light pack on this, which runs down the sides of the centre console. It's in the footwell, it's in the door bins, it's in the door handles, and it looks really, really nice. It's set at white at the moment, and it really is a nice addition and lights the place up at night. The other thing you've got is you've got the illuminated sill plates, which light up with Range Rover on them at night time, which look really, really nice. And the other thing which I thought was really, really cool was it's got auto full beams on this vehicle. So I was driving down a slip road last night as I'm coming off the motorway, and the lights went to full beam, but I could see a car in front, and I was thinking, this isn't a good idea, we're going to blind the person in front. So I've driven a Mercedes S-Class with automatic full beams before, which was great, and what that did was it put them on when it was on a pitch black country lane, and then it knocked them back off again when it was, when there was a vehicle coming. The other thing that had, which was quite useful, was it would put just the left one on if someone was coming on the other side of a dual carriageway, so you didn't blind them, but you still had good visibility. So that was really neat and clever. The way this one works is another level. So this has got like a matrix of LEDs in the headlights, and what happens is it shines around the vehicle in front. So I'm heading towards this vehicle on this darkish road, but I don't want to blind them. So the lights are coming out the sides around the vehicle, wrapping the vehicle, so I could still see, but it wasn't blinding the person in front. And then it also did the thing where it adapts right on and left off and whatever it needs to do. So a vehicle like this is £102,000 base spec new. But what a capable vehicle. I mean, the technology that's built into it to be able to do something like that, the fact that it's obviously got the heated seats, it's got the InTouch Pro touchscreen climate control, Land Rover's latest offering, which looks fantastic. It really, really does, and it sort of slopes down the centre console. The infotainment system's the one that tilts out towards you, and you can adjust that tilt, and when you're finished it folds itself back away again. We've got a start-stop on this. I suppose we might be getting an extra mile to the gallon out of the thing. I think round town we're going to achieve sort of 15, something like that. Maybe even be wishful thinking. On a motorway run we might get sort of 24, something like that. So if you're after a nice economical vehicle, this isn't for you. But if you're after a lot of fun, if you're after that smile on your face constantly, this is the car. I mean, the way it makes you feel and when you put your foot down is just it. Considering this thing's just over 2 ton, it absolutely pins you in your seat. It's got 0.60 of 4.3 seconds, which for something of this weight is just out of this world. And we're not in a place where I can put a foot down yet, but when we are in a minute, I'll just put my foot down and hopefully you'll hear on the camera, but you might also see my reaction, because the way it plants you in your seat and the way you've almost, as you board it, as you put your foot to the floor, you almost stand up in the seat when you do it. And it's got several different options on this. So you've got if you go into the vehicle settings on the infotainment system, or on the bottom screen, you've got an option it's got the active exhaust, so you've got an option to turn them on to make them a bit louder and a bit more open and sound better. We'll just toggle them on actually. And then you've also got what's called a dynamic mode. So on what would be the all-terrain response system, the lever that you push it up and you can turn it around and you can choose between mud and snow and sand and gravel and rocks and things like that. There's also a dynamic mode, and once that's enabled, you unlock something where the car goes red. So all the ambient lighting goes red, the clocks go red, the infotainment goes red, and you know you're in a serious mode. And once that's in play, the noise from the exhaust is just, there we go, dynamic mode. Right, everything's gone red. Are we ready? I hope you got the noise on the camera, but that noise, but more than the noise, just the feeling of it, it plants you in your seat, it takes off, you hear it, you feel it, you're part of it, and it really, you know, the thing with this car is it's not meant to be driven at 30 mile an hour in comfort mode all its life. You know, I'm not saying tow it around all the time and be stupid and be irresponsible at all, but for things like when you're getting onto a motorway, let's get to 70 mile an hour as fast as possible in a safe way, obviously. You know, and if there's an opportunity to overtake safely in a dual carriageway and you're going to boot it and it does it, then, you know, great. I'm all for putting your foot down and getting that top speed and getting that nice, not getting that top speed, and getting that nice 0 to 60 and everything that goes with that, as long as it's in a safe manner. We don't want to be running anyone over, having any accidents, getting speeding fines or anything like that. But this vehicle, the smile it puts on your face is, I don't think I've driven another vehicle that does that. As I say, the Bentley Bentayga, you know, is obviously a luxury vehicle. It's fast, but it's not. It's designed more like the SVR, the Bentayga. Obviously, the sports cars where you're nice and low down with these bucket seats and the quick, the new Porsche 911, things like that. But the hybrid of the two, where you don't feel in luxury. I mean, don't get me wrong, you are in absolute luxury. You're in these gorgeous, comfortable leather bucket seats, and there's bucket seats in the back as well, but these are quite deep ones. You've got this stunning two-tone black and sort of cream steering wheel, and that continues throughout. You've got the black and cream on the seats, the black and cream on the dash. We've got chrome everywhere. We've got black gloss everywhere for the mirror adjusters on the steering wheel. It's a really fancy, luxurious place to be. But it's more about the sport element to this car, and that's what really sets it apart from the competition. In the back, we've got the armrest with the cup holders. We've got the fridge in the front. We've got a nice big boot on the thing. It really is a practical vehicle. I think that's why this vehicle's the whole package, because we've got the fact that we can go off-road, we can take it on one wheel, we can wade up to, I think it's 600 mil in this thing, so it's not quite as deep as the 1 metre of the full fat, but we can wade 600 mil, might even be 800 mil. So we can go anywhere quickly, and we can go anywhere with all the bits of tech that you could possibly want. So we've got the head-up display, for example, which I think is a fantastic addition, and it should be in a lot of cars now, because we're looking out the window, we can see our speed, we can see the speed of the speed signs around us because we've got the camera watching them, and it's just that little bit of safety. We're not sort of constantly looking down, especially in a car like this where you might be putting your foot down. I don't want to be looking down at clocks and distracted from my driving, so that's really good. And it's actually got a rev counter on there as well, so you can see how hard you're hitting it, which is a nice touch, and you don't tend to have that on, you know, your standard car with a head-up display. We've also got the sat nav in the middle of the clocks, which really looks nice. It's not just a, you know, like on the old Audi A6 where you just got an arrow turning right in 200 yards or whatever. This is a visual, graphic, colourful display of your satellite navigation, which is nice. Obviously, it's got all the obvious things: the heated seats, the front and rear. You can control them from the front if you want. We've got electric windows. As I said, we've got the full pan roof with that opens. We've got the covering on that. And when it comes to badging, they've put badges in all the right places. So we've got an SVR badge on the steering wheel against the gloss black, which looks really nice. We've got SVR on the speedo, so we're reminded, as we're looking down, we're reminded we're in SVR constantly. And I think the best position of the SVR badge in the interior of this vehicle is just above the glove box, and as you get in, it's perfect line of sight for the driver. If there's a passenger in there, they can see it. It's just a really nice reminder that this isn't a Range Rover Sport, this is an SVR, this is a serious piece of kit, and this is going to wake you up on a Monday morning. We've also got the badging on the exterior, a lovely sort of standard body kit on the thing that just looks the part and looks aggressive. We've got the two dual split exhaust side to side. As I said, we've got the active exhaust on this. The noise that the thing makes when you thump it is just... Some people have an enhanced exhaust put on them so that they pop and bang more, and as you're going along, as you come off the gas, you hear them pop, 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 bang, bang. And I think whilst that's great, and it does sound exciting, if you hear that for the first time and you hear the noise of the thing, you're like, wow, what's that, you know? The thing I'd say with that is this, I think everyone's done it now, and people do it to RS3s, people do it to Golf Rs, people do it to all sorts, and I think it's better that you've got it as it sounds. It sounds amazing, but I'm not saying you can tootle along in this quietly and no one knows you're going to come, because you can hear it rumbling wherever you go. But you can go fairly quietly in it if you want to. You can sort of just cruise along and not really get the sound insulation is very good on these things, so you can be going along and you can sort of forget what you're in until you just need to give it the throttle a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm in an SVR. I think with that exhaust on the back, you're never going to forget what you're in. It's just going to be popping and banging all the time, and it's just, I don't know, I just think this is personally, I think this is a bit of a better way of doing it. But I'm not saying don't go and checking the roof height on this car park. So 1.9 metres. I wasn't 100% this would fit. I know it definitely fit in the 2 metre. Turns out it does fit in 1.9 metre. I just want to, I don't know if you'll hear this. Shouldn't have any wind noise because of stops. But I just want to make sure we've got the active exhaust on. I just want to give it a little bit of beans now and just see if you can hear it just stationary. You can hear the popping as it goes on. When it does that, the vehicle shakes it, doesn't it? You see the camera move? That's got to put a smile on anyone's face, surely. Try not to offend any neighbours now, it's rather graceful. The sound deadening with regards to insulation, with regards to the glass and stuff like that, you're driving along in this nice, quiet, smooth, comfortable vehicle, and then you go to pull out of a junction, or you go to join the motorway, and you just put your foot down a bit like you would normally in any other car, and when you do, your cheeks move a little bit, and your lips sort of are drawn upwards because the smile it puts on your face as you hear that exhaust. Just you feel it as in you move, you hear it in the exhaust note, and there's just if you really give it the beans, the pops and the bangs that come with it, it's just, and like I said, that's out of the factory, that's stock, that's not messing about putting a sports exhaust on it or anything like that. That's just as it comes. So I don't ever want it to be any more leery and in your face. It already is leery and in your face, and it's not something you can quietly drive along and no one know that you've got an SVR, and they just think, oh, it's just a normal Range Rover. People know, people can tell this isn't a Range Rover, this isn't a Range Rover Sport, this is something special and something that warrants that 102 grand starting price. So I think we'll leave that there for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do smash that like button. It really helps with me ranking my videos. And don't forget to subscribe so I can bring you more content like this. And I'll see you all very soon.